So the first one here is on fulfillment, and
Right.
the verse is from Matthew 16:16, where Peter's confession: "You are the Messiah, the Son of the living God." Talk to me about that theme of fulfillment and why you selected it as your first theme.
Most Christians, they think that Jesus walked onto an empty stage and he began his ministry, he began teaching. The stage looks like the 21st century, that Jesus doesn't have any references in his own teaching to other things. The arrival of the Messiah itself is a complex idea inside of Judaism. So therefore, when Jesus steps onto the stage and he's described as the Messiah, and he talks about the kingdom of God arriving, all of these signal very important things to Jews who are saturated in the Old Testament. So what I want my reader initially to know is that the first thing that the Gospels announce is that this story you're about to read is the final chapter of a story that has been written for 2,000 years. This is not a new chapter that is coming from nowhere. This is actually the last chapter of a very big book. So, therefore, it is fulfillment. It's like the last 30 minutes of a great film or the last 2 chapters of a great book. It's like all the pieces come together and suddenly it looks interesting. And there we are.
Yeah, that's a nice way of thinking about it, that this is the climax of the story.
Yes.
And for some people, they just want to know, how does the story end? What's the important point of the story? But
Right.
you can miss out without that background information. You miss out on some of the language or the code talk
Right.
that you had mentioned before, and that's certainly the case here with fulfillment as well. I can think of certain terms like Son of Man. I mean, that's code talk. What exactly does that mean? And
Yeah.
you get some of that here with fulfillment, don't you?
You do. Yeah, you get, and also, whenever somebody steps onto a stage and has an announcement, let's put it this way. In our present political climate, imagine a politician comes out and says something like, "Let's make America great again." Can you believe it? There, I said it. Well, what does that mean?
Yeah.
Is America not great anymore? Or is America now going to be great? Or what about greatness in America? All of that is code embedded in a certain political climate.
Yeah.
Right? And probably 50 years from now, people will look back on that with amusement. So codes kind of have a limited space in which they live.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore, with this, Son of Man, I have heard people in church say that this is the humanity of Jesus, which tells me right away they don't have any idea about what Judaism meant by that.
Yeah.
Why Jesus selected that as his favorite title for himself, and was clearly confusing some of his audience and mystifying others. So if we don't realize that the New Testament, Jesus' ministry, the Gospels, is reaching back with one hand into the Old Testament and then raising up a hand in a present time, be hard to understand.